Welcome to this video. So in this video, I'm going to explain a bit about who I am and also how you can learn more about who you are. And by doing this, it's going to show you how you can consistently drive towards a life that's in line with who you are, which will lead into next week's video where I'm going to explain how to create an insane amount of discipline. So what I'm going to do is talk about a subject that might make you cringe a little bit if you are in the military, because that's core values. But regardless of your association that you have with core values or what you think about them, or what you've heard about them before, it's essential that you know yours, because everyday choices can then be made in line with those values, which is obviously in line with who you are and the life that you're wanting to live. So on the screen right now, I've just searched on ChatGPT for a bunch of core values, and I'm sharing them there for you so you can see what they are and what I'm on about at the moment in terms of what values are. So have a look at them, and some of them are going to be associated with who you are. And this is something that's been created in you from a young age, the way you've lived and what's happened in your life, not necessarily ones that you're just wanting to strive to be. So what I'll do is I'll explain my values in depth a little bit more, and how that is in obviously line with who I am. So for me, I've got two core values, which is likely a lot less than what many of you have got. And it's from whenever I spoke about it with people before, they normally have about 3 to 5, but I have two, and then under that I have a few others that just fall under those two, but I've got two main ones. So mine are family and leadership. I like to see them, like I said, as the two core main values, and under that there are others. So for example, being a leader, I want to be authentic and honest, or I am authentic and honest, not necessarily that I want to be. And that being that way means that I can lead from the front. I'm not afraid of saying what needs to be said. I'm not afraid of who I am. And that's important for me to be a leader and to lead from the front. And family, being the other one, is a popular one. I had a chat with my brother probably about a year ago, and we both had that same value. But for many of you as well, yours are going to be different to what ours were and how we interpret family. So for him, his was more in line with, he wants to be always present with his family and give them his time. Whereas for me, my life's been slightly different to his. Well, obviously, when I left home at 19, and I've been away ever since. And now I also don't live with my daughter the majority of the time. So for me to say that family is a core value, and for it to be I give them all my time, is incorrect. That's not who I am, and that value for me is different. It's still the number one value for me, and it fuels my other value of leadership. And always, my family is always the first thing on my mind, and everything I do every single day is for them, even though I'm not there in person. So I want to provide and protect by doing everything that's necessary. And I know that they're not going to have all my time, and I don't think that'll ever change in the future either, because of just who I am and how I like to work. I like to set my mind at tasks and get things done. And for me, providing for my family in a different way to, for example, what my brother does. And that, again, it's just the way my life's been, and how I've turned out, basically. And I do enjoy it like that. Family for me is also like my clients and community. So your friends, or the communities that you're in. For me, that's massive. And the point I'm getting at with all this is that as long as every day I'm working alongside those core values, then I see fulfillment, and I obviously feel good and enjoyment with life. If I'm able to inspire them as much as possible and live a life that they can see I'm giving everything I've got every single day, and I'm enjoying it at the same time, then I'm living in alignment with those core values, and I'm on the right path. And that's why it's important for you to know what yours are. If you often feel flat, and like every day is just a case of just ticking those days over until the next one comes and the next one comes, until you get a little bit of leave and have a little bit of downtime, then just see if what you do every single day aligns with your core values. And if they do, and just by highlighting that, you'll probably find a little bit of comfort and happiness in it, because you're living every single day in alignment with those values and just showcasing that will probably give you a little bit of energy and a little bit of fuel just to keep pushing on with what you're doing, because you're doing a great job then. On the flip side, if your day is completely against that, then you'll always feel like you're clashing every single day, and that'll probably never change. You'll always have that when you just tackle every single day because it's not in line with who you are. So for me, it gets like that, and I used to get in those moments quite a lot, which is obviously why I've had a lot of life changes. When I feel like I'm not moving forward or making the progress that I want, then I'm not living in line with who I am, because I'm not being a positive role model. I'm not putting in the work. And that's obviously what I'm trying to do, is lead from the front for all my family, all my clients, all my community. So if I'm not showing up every single day, or I'm not making progress myself, then how can I be leading them to do the same? Which then obviously makes me feel unfulfilled and feel down. And that's what I'm trying to get across in this video. So I hope this video has planted a little bit of seed to do a bit of digging into yourself, because it's so important. And it also leads, like I said, nicely into next week's video on discipline. And obviously I'm going to talk a lot about these values, on how you can use that to be absolutely insanely disciplined. So as always, thank you so much for listening and all your time.